How many two-player only games did you put on the list?
Maybe 6 or 7 or 2. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Hey folks, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this is our bottom 5. That is to say our numbers 10 through 6. Couples games. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Right.
How
you
we
do
did.
A little heart symbol.
I ain't gonna do the heart symbol. I ain't gonna do that. All
Happy
right,
Valentine's Day.
These are games that are not just two-player games.
No.
These are games that we think, at least this is how I went into it, it doesn't have to be two-player only, but they play well at two-player.
I wrote down 60 games.
60?
Yeah, and then I narrowed it down. I took the 60 games and I said, okay, if a person and their significant other are going to sit down for a nice day, a nice evening together, a nice chill evening with a glass of wine or a cup of milk or whatever else they want, what would you play? Well, would you just hang out together and play?
So this is the two ends of the spectrum.
High interaction.
Wine or milk.
Yep, high interaction, consistent interaction was a big piece for me.
Did you personalize it? Is this like
No,
your
it
personal?
had nothing to do with me. Otherwise,
Nothing to do
because
with you.
Mel and I would sit down and play a campaign game for 2 weeks straight. It wouldn't matter. That'd be a two-player game for us. Or a really heavy game. We like to sit down to a super crunchy game.
Sure.
But I'm not going to suggest super crunchy games to everybody else.
Well,
it's not nothing. These are great games, and I love them. And
yeah.
we like them together.
No. Of course, they're your
not
top 10 suggestions.
Yes.
I actually personalized it almost doubly because I put my, I came up with my top 10, and then I gave those 10 games to Jess, and I told her to put those in order. This order is what she put them in.
Yeah.
And then I'll share with you what my number was whenever it comes up.
Sure.
And some of them, about half the list was actually
That's
about
pretty good. I really focused on if two people were sitting side by side or together that cared about each other, what would you want to play?
Sure.
Chill and talk.
Awesome. So. My average weight for the bottom 5 was 1.75 out of 5.
I'm going to say weight's kind of a hard one for this list because it
light.
really doesn't matter.
Sure.
Mine's 2.5, but
yeah,
it doesn't really.
My average was a 1.86 over all 10.
Yeah, mine was 2.23. So.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it still gives them an idea of what to expect.
Sure.
What to expect.
Lighter fare for chilling.
Yep. You're just chilling.
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. This is our numbers 10 through 6. Couples games. Our number 10. I'll have to put it that way. But it was our number 10 because we both put this game at number 10. Jaipur. Nice. Jaipur is a neat little two-player trading, kind of drafting game. And it's very light. This is the lightest game on both of these lists.
Yeah.
It's super chill. It does not have a big footprint. And there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. It does have great artwork. The newest version, Space Cowboys version, has the man. I'm not even going to say his name anymore. You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Anyway, it's the best artwork. A lot of people have said that I've talked to about it have said that the artwork is better in the other version. Whatever. Art is completely subjective. But I really enjoy this game. It's a great little two-player game and card game. It'll fit in your back pocket almost. Backpack game, it would absolutely fit on that as well. It takes everywhere. It's mobile. I like it. My number 10. Our number 10, Jaipur.
That's a really good couples game for sure. Because two of you can just knock it out. Yep. That's a good one. All right, my number 10 is 2 games.
What?
See, I could cheat.
I didn't know you could do that.
My number 10 is 1 game with another game that tacked on to it. It is from Gray Fox Games, and it's called Ragnaroks. Ragnaroks is a fun little 2-player game. You can sit down, put the board out there. It's got cute little crystals on it. You're trying to lock in each other's Vikings by doing special moves across the board. And you move your Viking, and then that Viking basically shoots out in direction on the hex grid, a rock, and then you're trying to section off portions of the board so you can get points for them if your Viking's the only one left in there.
Yeah.
You get gods in it that give you all different cool powers to do. It's a very chill game. It's a very fast game. The other half of this, or the other piece of this, would be Santorini.
Sure.
Santorini is a good 2-player game as well. I just prefer Ragnarok's.
Just
but
pick your
either one. Yep, either
pick your
one, whichever
theism,
kind of theme you like.
Yeah,
and,
whatever
yep.
theme you want. Yeah.
But both of them great games. Ragnarok's is super fun. So that is my number 10.
That's a good one.
Ragnarok's.
That's a really good one. That could have been on the list because it definitely has that Viking theme. It's not because Jess doesn't like it very much.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why it didn't make the list. But it's a good pick.
For the record, I don't think Mel likes it very much.
Our number 9, because we both put this one at number 9, which is strange because I thought this one would rocket up to the top of her list because she loves this IP. But the Princess Bride adventure book game is a fun little 2-player game. It goes up to 4 players, I believe, but it works well with 2 players, and we've really enjoyed this one a lot because she really enjoys Princess Bride. I don't dislike it either. Sure. And it really does mimic well the theme of the game. And it's a very couple-esque theme, if I can use that word.
Sure.
It's not. It's because the movie's all about, you know,
farmer. What's he called? The farmer boy.
Wesley.
Wesley. I know Wesley, but she always
Wesley
says
and Buttercup.
Farmer.
Wesley
boy
and
or whatever.
Buttercup. Yeah. So the theme carries with that couple's ideology. And it's
very
fun.
Valentine's theme.
Sure, and the 2-player version, you're basically just playing through the major scenes of the movie / book, and you're trying to figure out the puzzles as you go through each one. It's very fun. It's very chill with 2 players, and it's got a pretty cool table presence as well because the book opens up and it becomes your playboard, and it's just really neat. I thought it would be a lot higher on her ranking because she loves the IP so much, but we both had it at our number 9. Yeah. The Princess Bride adventure book game.
Now we know how much they don't like it.
I know, right? Throw that thing out.
That's right. The other thing I tried to do was do some representation of 2-player games for different kinds of couples.
Sure.
So I don't know if that'll show through or not, but my number 9 is a 2-player game from Ivy Studios called Mythic Mischief. Ooh, and if you have a partner that likes chess or those kind of strategic little games, Mythic Mischief, you have a little library that you're working in. You each get your own little faction of monster high schoolers or school kids, and they each have special abilities. They have the amount of movement they can do. They have some kind of special ability to move the other person's players. They have a special ability to move the bookcases around. And then they have a couple other special abilities. But your goal is to go around. There's a little tomb keeper that's walking around inside where you're trying to go pick up these little stacks of books. But really, you're trying to get the other person's people caught by the tomb keeper. Yeah. And it has this little programming to it. So you kind of know where it's going to go depending on which bookcases and stuff you move around it to kind of direct it. But you're just trying to get the other person's people in front of the tomb keeper so they can pick them up, and you get points for doing that. And at the same time, you have a cool little board where you get to upgrade your group's abilities as you go. So it's just a fun little 2-player game. It's fairly quick, and it's quite a ruckus for the 2 of you. There's a lot of conversation of, don't move that. Oh, I can't believe you did that. There's just a lot of interaction. Obviously, in a cute little tactical game.
Yeah, that is a cool game. It's really fun. It's got a really neat, well-implemented theme to it as well.
Yeah,
yep. Like Monsters High or Monsters
Yeah,
Inc.
exactly. I'm the Frankenstein monsters, and you got the vampires or whatever. So
yeah, that's cool.
It's a good one.
Our number 8, because we both had this one also at number 8. It's fine. It's just surprising. This clocked in at a 1.79 weight for complexity, but this is one that we've really enjoyed over the months. We haven't had it for years yet. But this is called Tangram City, a Uwe Rosenberg game about city building with these Tangram-shaped tiles. And it doesn't sound that intriguing to begin with, but the shapes themselves and how they fit together is where this really becomes kind of a brain, not burner, but definitely
It's definitely
baker.
thinky.
Yeah, it's thinky. It's a brain baker, not really a burner. It doesn't totally melt your brain, but you really kind of, because you say, oh yeah, that'll definitely fit there, and then you get it and you're like, oh wait, no. Crap. And then you have to find some other place to do it. But the tile placement is one thing that Jess and I both really enjoy doing, and it's a very accessible mechanism for a lot of different people, which is another reason why I chose to put it in this consideration. But the really cool thing about it is balancing your city's architecture, I guess is a way to put it, or your zones, because you're balancing between nature and
Industrial
industrial parts of your city, and you can get a lot of points if you do well at balancing that. You can also get a lot of points other ways and just kind of forget about that, but it does kind of bite you in the end, because you will get some negative points if you are too far out of balance.
Nice. All right, my number 8 is not 2 games, but 20 games. I'm getting worse. No.
Yeah, he's just taking a
So
mile.
my number 8,
edge.
I'll give you one first this is my number 8, and then I'll explain why. But my number 8 is in Cosmos, and this is Exit the Game. Now, the one that I put in here was the Forbidden Castle, because I think it's one of the first ones that Mel and I ever did together. But if you and your partner can sit down and do an exit room game, or what can I think of the other ones, the ones that don't damage themselves? Unlock.
Yes.
Yeah, the Unlock series. Yeah. Any of those. You can sit down. It's a very puzzly game. You just get a box full of puzzles, and you're trying to solve each of those puzzles. I very much like the exit games, probably more than the Unlock games, just because of how much cool damage and stuff you get to do to everything.
So the exit games consume themselves, but the Unlock games don't?
They don't.
I know the Unlock games don't, but I didn't know that was a difference between them.
The exit games consume themselves. So you're going to get a booklet, and at some point during the booklet, you're going to get a clue that makes you rip out page 5 and fold it up into an origami thing and find the code in it, or whatever else. And you're going to have to, smash the cover of the box down and flip it up backwards so you can see the inside. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out this puzzle, and obviously you're doing it together. Collectively, you can do it with more players, but I think that this works best with just you and your significant other, just so you can kind of noodle it out together.
Sure.
It's quite fun that way. So anyways, the Exit series, like I said, the Forbidden Castle was one of the first ones we did that we really liked, and they have different difficulty levels. Or the Unlock series, and they have a bunch of different difficulty levels too. So, but that's my number 8.
Yeah, if you've ever been to an escape room, just think escape room in a box. That's what you've got on both Exit and Unlock. Probably Exit feels more like an escape room in a box because you are actually having to manipulate all of those different things, whereas Unlock is probably a little bit more of a board game version of that.
Yeah.
So both are really great series, but Exit is probably the one that has a greater following. Maybe, I don't know. That might just
They're
be
really neat. They have such neat puzzles.
Yeah, they are.
And I heard about them way before exit rooms. I've never done an exit room though. So.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, really?
No, I get mad. I'll go through the wall.
Jess's number 7. This was actually my number 2.
All right.
So I really enjoy this one.
I'm going to see which one's right.
But Jess enjoys this, but it's lower on her list. And this was Marvel Dice Throne. Marvel Dice Throne is a great, if you like Yahtzee-style rolling, where you're rolling your dice, you can keep some of them, then you get to re-roll the rest, and you basically have 2 re-rolls. And you're trying to get certain combinations of dice so that you can fire off your superhero's special ability or your character's special ability, because they do have a lot of like non-superhero characters that are in the Dice Throne universe. But they're all compatible. You can play them against each other all over the place, but we only have Marvel Dice Throne, so that's why we've cornered it down to that. But it's a really fun 2-player game. You can play it with others, and I've enjoyed other counts, but really 2 players is where it really, really sings. And we just have a great time at it. So it's a great chill time of just rolling some dice, firing off some abilities. The artwork is great. Component level is really high. The custom dice are really nice as well. So it's just a really great time for 2 people to sit down and have some fun. So that's my number. That's Jess's number 7. I had it at number 2. It's a really good game. Marvel Dice Throne.
It's a really good game. I don't know if I'd call it a couples game, but it's a really good
I
game.
think it's a couples game.
All right, that's fair. Just got to have the right couple. All right, no, that's a good game. All right, for my number 7, now this is, I guess this one actually more caters towards Mel and myself. There were some things that were going to hit my list. And it landed number 7 because maybe it's not for the majority of couples. But this is from Scorpion Mask and Luke Redmond, and this is Sky Team. At this point in time, Sky Team's been out since 2023, late 2023. And I checked the other day, I've played it 67 times. So this is a great game.
You play it like, I mean, it's one of those kinds of games where you just play it like 4 or 5 times every time you pull it out anyway, right? But is that like 67 different unique times, or is that like...
No, that's 67 plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, but that's the ones I've, there may be some that I didn't mark down or whatever else. But regardless, Sky Team's a great game where you and your partner are pilot and co-pilot. You're rolling dice hidden behind a screen, and you're having to use those dice on a board to basically fly a plane. To keep it level, each of you is going to have to manage the flaps on your side of the plane to keep that thing level from flipping over and nose diving. You're going to have to each play into the speed of the plane and the engine power of the plane, whether you want it to move fast or slow, or you're also going to have to call ahead and get planes out of the way so that you don't run into them, clear your flight plan or flight path. And then you have to have that plane, you start at 6,000 feet, and you have to have it reach the ground at the same time that the ground reaches you. Now, at the same time, you get to the airport, and then you have to hit the brakes at the right time. But there's all kinds of modules. There's windy weather, there's foggy weather, there's fuel leaks, there's icy brakes, there's there's wind you have to do, there's interns you have to take care of, there's all different kinds of things that play into that, and it is quite intense. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of really getting into the other person's head and trying to figure out what they're doing and when they're doing it. So
we don't own this game, that's why it wasn't under consideration, but that's a very, very good pick. It's a very fun 2-player game.
Yep.
Jess's number 6 was actually higher up on my ranking as at 4, but this is still pretty close to about the same, right there in the middle somewhere. But this is a game from 25th Century Games, and it's called Agda, City of Umbrellas. And this is a neat game that is based around these streets that are found in certain cities that are around the world, where they have put umbrellas over the top, just kind of like an artistic expression to add a splash of color to the streets. And it kind of hit the ground, and a lot of towns ran with it. We actually, when we were down in Dominican Republic, they actually had
that was cool
an umbrella street, and we were able to go down there and see that. But this is a neat one where you basically have a certain pattern that you're trying to go for based on these different public objectives that are out on the board, and you're trying to formulate and score as many points as you possibly can by building your own little street of your umbrella street, rather. And it's just a really fun, neat, chill theme, and it appeals to a lot of people, I think, because of the how colorful it is. The umbrellas pieces are actually really kind of
nice,
neat, chunky pieces. And this is one that we've just had a lot of fun with, and we both enjoy it very much. So that's the last one for me on this segment.
Oh, yeah.
Agda,
that was fast.
City of Umbrellas.
All right. And the last one for me had to go on this list because of the theme alone. The last one is from Ben Goldman and North Star Games, and this is called Paint the Roses. Paint the Roses is a great game where you're in Wonderland. You ever heard that? Why are you painting the roses red? That's because the queen's chasing you. And on the score track, you have a little set of gardeners that are on the score track, and you have a red queen or queen of hearts on the score track who gets faster and faster as the game goes by. But in this, you have a grid, a little hexagonal grid that has tiles in it, really nice little like bakelite tiles. And each of those tiles has a hedge on it, and the hedge is shaped in one of the 4 suits, spades, diamonds, hearts, or clubs. And it also has a color to it, pink, yellow, red, and whatever. There's different colors and so what you're going to do is you're going to get secret objectives. And on your turn, you're going to pick a tile from the common drafting pool, and you're going to put it down on one of the spots, one of the hexes. And when you put it down, depending on how many of the tiles around it match one of your cards, you can put down, if 2 of the tiles around it match one of my cards, I can put down 2 little tokens on it, 2 little clue tokens. And even the person that you're playing with, they can put down, this is not a 2-player only game. You can play it with more. Yeah. But it's quite fun with 2. But they can put down clues as well. But at the end of your turn, I've put down 2. They have to guess what my card is. And if they get it wrong, the queen moves double. And if they get it right, our gardeners move ahead a little bit. You also get to pick the difficulty level of the cards you take when you draft a new card. So you can have easy cards, you can have medium cards, you can have hard cards. Hard cards will actually move you farther, obviously, but they'll also move her farther if you fail. So you're continually building out this grid of these tiles, and you're hoping that she doesn't block those 3 yellows right there, because if you put your pink in there and you have a card that says, I need 3 yellows, it's perfect. And then she puts a blue tile there, and so it messes, whatever. That actually wouldn't mess you up because you could still put, but every single turn you have to guess. And if you guess wrong, bad things happen. So you're just trying to get your people, your painters to the end before the queen catches them, and you know what happens after that.
Yep. So I've never played this game.
It's so much fun.
That's cool.
It's quite fun. So that's my number 6, Paint the Roses. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Beautiful game. Yeah. There you go.
Very cool. Yep. Well, that is our bottom 5, 10 through 6, of games that we recommend for couples on Valentine's Day. Did you hear what I said there? I said Valentine's.
Yeah. Valentine's with his.
That's not correct.
With his glass of milk.
That's right. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for joining us right here on the Dice Tower. We appreciate you. You are in it to win it, so you can head on over to the Flipside. That's where we're going to have our top 5 couples games. That's number 5 through 1, and that's available right now. There's a link down in the description. You can go on over there and check that out. If you do, we'll appreciate it.
Yep. Otherwise, just like, comment, and subscribe down below.
That's right.
And then change your mind and go over there anyways.
Yes. So do it. All right, we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.